We are a little bit more than a week into 2020, and what that probably means is that you guys have created your resolutions. Maybe you've written out a goal list. However, you're not going to achieve everything on that goal list if you're setting goals like everybody else. I'm going to explain to you why and what you should do instead on this episode of The Creator's Journey. Hey folks, Happy New Year. It's 2020. Hope you all made it through the holiday season. I know for me, I took a little time off. Somewhere around NaNoWriMo, I started to get a little bit of overwhelm with what I was facing with NaNoWriMo. I also got those end of the year blues, a little bit of a depression that I always get around the end of the year. But with the turn of the calendar, I'm back and I have set a goal to produce more content on a regular basis for you guys. And that brings me to what I'd like to talk to you about today. Now, before we go any further, I do want to introduce myself. I am Gary Karp. I want to thank you for checking out my channel. If this is your first time here, welcome. If you're coming back and you hung out with me before, I'm looking forward to spending some more time with you. Now, around New Year's, we all sit there and we create resolutions. We write all these resolutions and we create our goal lists. And the truth of the matter is if you're creating your goal list the same way that everybody tells you to, then most likely you're not going to reach your goals. You're not going to accomplish everything that you want to do in this year. Well, why not? Well, very simply, most people don't set goals. What they really do is they set outcomes. Now, what do I mean by that? An outcome you do not control. An outcome is the final result of actions that you have taken. Goals are action steps that you take. A goal is not an outcome. A goal is an action step. It is something that you can do. Let's say your goal for this year was to write and publish your first novel, or maybe write and publish your next novel. That's really the outcome, because you can't control everything that goes on in that situation. You can't control the weather. You can't control the economy. You can't control business. You can't control who likes your book, dislikes your book, and who will give you a publishing contract if you want to go through a traditional publishing house. The only thing you can do is control your thoughts and your actions. If your outcome is to write and publish your first book, then the goal should be that every day I am going to sit down and I am going to write for 1 hour a day. Or maybe 2 hours, or maybe 5 hours, or maybe 30 minutes. Whatever is right for you. The key to achieving your goals is to set them up so you can take action upon them every single day, and that every single day leads you closer to that desired outcome. Does that make sense? So here's my suggestion for you. First, I want you to write down all the desired outcomes that you want from this year. Whether it's, I want to make $1 million, I want a new job, I want to publish my first or my next book, I want to have a boyfriend, girlfriend, partner, whatever it is. Write down the desired outcomes that you want. Just make a big old list. And then I want you to take 2 or 3 of them, not all of them, just 2 or 3, and I want you to write down what daily, monthly, and weekly actions you have to take in order to reach those goals. So again, if your goal is to write and publish your first novel, then one of the actions that you're going to be writing down is, I will sit and write for 1 hour every day. These are goals that you can easily reach each and every day because you are in control. Does this make sense? I'm really hoping it does, because this unlocked so much for me when I learned this, right? When I was in my mid-20s, I was hit by a car and I broke both my legs. The doctors told me that I may never walk again, and if I did walk, it would be with a pronounced limp and probably with the help or the aid of a walker or a set of canes or some sort of prosthetic device. And that wasn't going to happen. Plain and simple. The obstinate type A personality in me just said, hell no, that's not going to happen. And I set the goal that I was going to walk again. And I pushed myself, but there were some things I could not control. I couldn't control how fast my body took to heal. I couldn't control how well my body was healing. And as I kept pushing and pushing to get to that point where I could walk, I ignored the signs my body was giving me. And as a result, I had multiple surgeries on my legs, and I probably extended the recovery period by a period of 6 to 9 months because I was so focused on the final outcome, I didn't realize what I could control on a day in, day out basis to make it happen. Now, I took that lesson, and when I was given a clean bill of health by my doctors, I decided I wanted to run 5K races, that I didn't want to take my legs for granted anymore. And in my mind, not taking my legs for granted meant running 3.1 miles for the fun of it. And instead of focusing on the outcome of wanting to run a 5K and my first 5K and finish it in less than 50 minutes, and that was the desired outcome I wanted, I said in order to achieve that desired outcome, I had to run every day. I had to run for 1 hour every day. I had to run for a solid 10 minutes within that hour. Parts of that hour was walking, parts of it was jogging, but at least for 10 minutes in that hour, I had to run. I also said that I had to keep myself hydrated. I had to drink water while I was running. I had to change my diet. And these were things that I could control every day. I did finish that race, and I finished it in 48 minutes and change. Somewhere in my house or my mom's house, there's a picture of me looking happy but exhausted, standing under the clock that is blinking 48 minutes and I think it's like 46 seconds or something like that. I don't remember. The point is that I focused on action steps that I could take that would lead me eventually to my desired outcome. So right now, what I want you to do is go ahead and look at the goals that you created for yourself. Look at the resolutions that you wrote down and consider them your final outcomes, your desired outcomes. And then ask yourself, what actions do I need to take on a day in, day out basis to achieve this desired outcome? I'm telling you, when you look at goal setting this way, it will change your life. So that's what I got for you right now. Again, I thank you very much for spending this time with me. If you like what you're hearing and you have not done so yet, please go ahead, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell to get notified whenever a new video is released. So until the next time, thanks for hanging out with me, and let's make 2020 the best year ever.